Can be done after the class. Once you are done with the class, then we can conclude with the
Hare Krishna, everyone. Nice to see you.
Hare Krishna.
Everyone doing good? Getting ready for King's Day?
Yes.
Is it going to rain on King's Day? Hey, nice to see you. Hare Krishna. Kunja Bihari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, everyone. So happy to be here with all of you today. Take the permission of His Grace Parivida Prabhu, who's also here before we continue. So I didn't come with a specific topic, so I guess we can read something from the Bhagavad Gita and have a discussion. I'm happy to, if anyone has a topic or a question, then I'm happy to start there if anyone would like to give us a topic. Otherwise I'll pick a verse. Does anyone have anything you're particularly interested in discussing? Okay, we have a taker. Yes.
Interactions of Paramatma with the living souls. Chapter 15, verse 15.
Okay, we have a verse that's very specific. Okay, let's do that then. So today we're going to read from Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 15. And today we're going to read from text number 15. I'm smiling when I'm reading this verse because I have a story behind this verse, which I'll just share with you. In the Brahmacharya ashram at Bhaktivedanta Manor, there's no beds, so we all kind of just like sleep wherever you can find some floor space. But what I used to do when I lived there for many years, I still live there but I'm in and out, is I... Closer?
A little away.
Oh, a little away. Is that better? Yeah. What I did is I reserved the floor space next to the bookshelf, because I had this theory that if I would sleep next to the books, with my head next to the books, then during the night time all the knowledge would magically go in. So what I often used to do is lie down by the bookshelf with my head by the book. And sometimes what I would do is just before I was about to go to sleep, I would pick out a book and read something just before going to sleep. So on one particular day, I picked the Bhagavad Gita and I just decided to read a verse before I go to sleep. So I picked it up, I opened the book, and it came to 15:15, the verse that you've mentioned here. So I was reading this verse, we'll read it in a second, but essentially in this verse, Krishna says, from me comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. So I was kind of thinking about that as I was lying down, that Krishna says, from me comes knowledge, I get that. From me comes remembrance, I get that. From me comes mobile phones. No. From me comes forgetfulness. And then I was thinking, forgetfulness? How does forgetfulness come from Krishna? What does it really mean that forgetfulness comes from Krishna? So anyway, I fell asleep thinking about that. How does forgetfulness come from Krishna? Anyway, when I woke up the next morning, my mobile phone alarm went off. And in order to turn my mobile phone alarm off, I had to put my PIN in. So I put my PIN in and it rejected. And I was like, why did it just reject my PIN? I've had this phone for a year. So I put another number in and it rejected that. And I'm like, how could I forget my PIN? Like if I get it wrong another time, the phone's going to get jammed. And sure enough, I put the PIN in a third time and it rejected. And then I remembered the verse the night before. From me comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. So there you go. Krishna gave me a live lesson in the Bhagavad Gita. So this is chapter number 15, text number 15. I think many of you will know this verse, so I'm just going to repeat it line by line and then you can repeat after me. Sarvasya chaham yadi sanivishto mata smriti jnanam apohanam cha vedesha sarve raham eva vedyo vedanta prit vedavit eva chaham Sarvasya chaham hridhi sanivishto mata smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedesha sarve rahameva vedyo vedanta prit vedavit eva chaham Sarvasya, all living beings, Cha, and Aham, I, Hridhi, in the heart, Sanivishta, situated, Mata, from me, Smriti, remembrance, Jnanam, knowledge, Apohanam, forgetfulness, Cha, and Vede, by the Vedas, Cha, also, Sarve, all, Aham, I am, Eva, certainly, Vedya, knowable, Vedanta Krit, the compiler of the Vedanta, Vedavit, knower of the Vedas, Eva, certainly, Cha, and Aham, I. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of the Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. Purport: the Supreme Lord is situated as Paramatma in everyone's heart, and it is from him that all activities are initiated. The living entity forgets everything of his past life, but he has to act according to the direction of the Supreme Lord, who is the witness to all his work. Therefore, he begins his work according to his past deeds. Required knowledge is supplied to him, and remembrance is given to him, and he forgets also about his past life. Thus the Lord is not only all-pervading, he is also localized in every individual heart. He awards the different fruitive results. He is worshipable not only as the impersonal Brahman, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the localized Paramatma, but as the form of the incarnation of the Vedas as well. The Vedas give the right direction to people so that they can properly mold their lives and come back to Godhead, back to home. The Vedas offer knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and Krishna in his incarnation as Vyasadeva is the compiler of the Vedanta Sutra. The commentation on the Vedanta Sutra by Vyasadeva in the Srimad Bhagavatam gives the real understanding of the Vedanta Sutra. The Supreme Lord is so full that for the deliverance of the conditioned soul, he is the supplier and the digester of foodstuff, the witness of his activity, and the giver of knowledge in the form of the Vedas, and as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, the teacher of the Bhagavad Gita. He is worshipable by the conditioned soul. Thus God is all good. God is all merciful. There's already quite a lot to discuss there, so I'm just going to stop there and then we'll see how far we get. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnana Timiran Hristiyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadhantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sarajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vikantam Sajivam Sadhaitam Sadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahajanalita Shri Vishnapadritamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Namostute Tata Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhishta Kripa Sindhu Vairascha Patitanam Pavaneyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Kan iedereen een beetje, can everyone move up a little more to the front, please?
So Krishna is more eager for us to go back to him than we are. Conditioned soul is a little bit stubborn. The conditioned soul, even when enlightened to the truth, is dragging his feet. And the conditioned soul is very, very weak. That's the reality of everyone in Kali Yuga, is we're very, very weak. Between mantras, Maya is still coming back. Between programs, Maya is coming back. Between blessings, like taking the ghee lamp, Maya is coming back. So Maya is constantly bringing us back. So therefore Krishna is working overtime to bring the conditioned soul back to the spiritual world. This verse is very, very powerful, because if we read deeply in this verse, basically what Krishna is doing is ingeniously, he is taking us back to the spiritual world through three mechanisms. The first mechanism by which Krishna takes us back is through the scripture. Maya mugda jivera nahi swata Krishna gyan. Jivere kripaya koile Krishna Ved Puran. Maya mugda, the conditioned soul in this world is completely confused, bewildered, baffled, ignorant of who they are, where they are, and how they're meant to get back to where they're meant to be. Therefore, Jivere Kripaya, out of mercy, out of compassion, what does Krishna do? Koile Krishna Veda Puran. Krishna delivers the Vedas. Krishna delivers knowledge to the world. Krishna basically brings the Shastra to the world. Therefore here Krishna says Vedanta Krit, Veda Vit, Eva Chaham. I am the Krishna says I'm the compiler of the Vedanta and I'm the knower of the Vedanta. So the first step that Krishna initiates in taking the conditioned soul back to the spiritual world is scripture. Without scripture you can't understand anything. Scripture is sometimes called the mother, Veda Shastra. Sometimes we say Veda Mata. Scripture is the mother. Because if you ever want to find out who your father is, you can't do it through any kind of experimentation. Ultimately, you have to learn from the mother. And then the mother will reveal who the father is. And therefore the Vedas are compiled by Krishna, Vedanta Krit. Because Krishna is Vedavit. He knows everything. So when Krishna comes to the world, then he gives knowledge. He gives knowledge to Brahma at the beginning of the universe. But later on, as time progresses, Krishna realizes that he needs to write the knowledge down. And therefore, Krishna, in order to do that, he empowers Vyasadeva. But sometimes Vyasadeva is like a position. So sometimes there's no one qualified to take the position of Vyasadeva, and therefore sometimes Krishna himself becomes Vyasadeva. So it's said that in the Yuga cycle that we're in at the moment, Krishna himself became Vyasadeva. Therefore our Vyasadeva is known as Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas. So Krishna compiles as Vyasadeva all the scriptures. It's said that if all the knowledge of the Vedas were to be written down on palm leaves, it would fill up this building many, many times over. There's millions of verses. But Vyasadeva, after he had compiled everything, he wasn't satisfied, because he realized like people are not good readers. Like you can give someone a Kindle, you can give them an iPad, you can make it all accessible, but generally people are just not good at reading. And they might miss the essence. And therefore Vyasadeva thought to himself, I got to bring out the essence in case people miss it. I got to make it more obvious. So after Vyasadeva compiled the Vedas, he wanted to summarize it. So then what he wrote was a book called before that, Vedanta Sutra. Veda Anta. Anta means the end, the conclusion. So he wrote Vedanta Sutra. Sutra means codes. On a computer, it's like having a zip file. Right? Like in a small zip file, there's so much. So sutras are like that. They're like zip files and they contain so much knowledge. But even after Vyasadeva wrote the Vedanta Sutra, he still wasn't happy. because he thought people are even not going to be able to understand this. So then he wrote the commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, which was Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, it's mentioned in a very beautiful verse. Sarva Vedanta Sadam hi Srimad Bhagavatam Ishyate Tadrasamrita Triptasya Nanyatra Shyadrati Kvachit. Sarva Vedanta Sar. Sar means the essence. So what is the essence of all the Vedas? Srimad Bhagavatam Ishyate. If you want to read one book and understand the essence of the Vedas, then that book is Srimad Bhagavatam. And therefore it says, Krishna Svadham Upagate Dharma Gnana Divisaha Kalo Nasta Drishamesha Pura Nargo Dhunodita. That when Krishna leaves this world and Kali Yuga begins, then it becomes very, very dark. But in that darkness of Kali Yuga, we can still get light by reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So now do you see the first step that Krishna provides for us to make our way back to Godhead is he gives us Shastra. But books are not enough. Because we still are in this world and we can still get completely lost. We still need help to navigate ourselves day to day. And therefore, Krishna doesn't just bring the Shastra to this world. He doesn't come just in the form of the Shastra, but then Krishna also accompanies in this world by taking the form of the Super Soul. And therefore, it said in Bhagavad Gita, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Riddese Arjuna Tistati Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani Yantra Rudhani Mayaya. This body is like a machine, like a chariot, and Krishna accompanies the soul, sitting right beside you, life after life. We hear that every day. Is something to just think about for a moment. Krishna is within you. Krishna is there. He's there. Riddhi Sanivashto, in the heart. That's amazing to think. The great devotees can see Krishna. One time, a reporter asked Srila Prabhupada, where do you get your money from? Prabhupada said, we get it from Krishna. He goes, yeah, I know all your deep theological answers, but I want to know, like, practically, where do you get your money from? Prabhupada said, we get it from Krishna. He said, no, I know, but like, where do you exactly get your money from? Prabhupada looked at the reporter and said, Krishna is in your heart. And if we tell Krishna to tell you, give the Swami $500, you will have to give. You got a little like disconcerted there at that point. So the devotees can see Krishna. That's amazing. Think about that. The devotees are conversing with Krishna in the heart. There's one qualification that Krishna says you have to have if you want to speak to Krishna in your heart. He gives it in the Bhagavad Gita. If you manage to do this one thing, you'll be able to hear Krishna in your heart. Do you know what it is? Krishna says, Jitatmana prashantasya paramatma samahita. For one who has conquered the mind, the super soul is already reached. Everyone's like, okay, there goes that one. I thought this was actually possible, you know? Yes, you have to conquer the mind, because the mind is too loud, the mind is too distracting, the mind is causing too much interference, too much background noise. Therefore, we can't hear Krishna. But as soon as the mind becomes peaceful, the mind becomes quiet, the mind becomes still. Can you hear? Then you can hear Krishna. Paramatma Samahita. So Krishna, you can hear him. So the second way Krishna comes to this world is he gives the Shastra, but then he accompanies you personally. He's like a personal coach, personal trainer. And what does Krishna do? Upadrasta Anumanta Cha. Krishna plays two roles as the Paramatma. He's the Upadrashta, he's overseeing everything you're doing. And he's the Anumanta, he permits, he sanctions. And in this way, Krishna is basically with you at every step. And Krishna says, I give you remembrance. How does a child know when it grows up how to walk? Krishna gives the remembrance. How do we know to put food into our mouth? Krishna gives the remembrance. How do we get the instinct to like flinch when there's fear? Krishna gives the remembrance. And then Krishna... Just in case I was sleeping. In one temple they used to do that in Japa time, at periodic times during Japa, someone would come down and just quite nice. Yes, Krishna is there, giving the knowledge, giving the remembrance. Yes, Krishna gives knowledge. Whenever we want to do something, Krishna gives us knowledge. Even when someone wants to be an atheist, Krishna gives the knowledge. You can't be an atheist without Krishna's help. Maya Parita Gyan. They come out, these atheists, they come out with so many amazing theories. All the knowledge is given by Krishna. Can you imagine? That's so amazing. Because Krishna doesn't want to force anyone. So Krishna is like, you don't want to believe in me? Okay, then I'll give you the intelligence to make a theory which will seemingly explain me out of the equation. That's amazing. So Krishna gives, and then Krishna gives forgetfulness. We forget the most obvious thing we forget. We can't see the most obvious thing. There's a story of Sherlock Holmes and Watson. You know Sherlock Holmes and Watson? Yes. He was a detective and then he was his assistant. So one day they went for camping. So they both lie down at the end of the night into their sleeping bags, and anyway, in the middle of the night they woke up, and so they were looking, so they were both lying down next to each other, so they woke up. So Sherlock turns to Watson and he says, tell me, what do you see? So Watson looks up, he sees all the stars. He says, I see that there are many stars, so cosmologically there must be so many galaxies, there must be so many, different meteors, and cosmologically I understand this. So Sherlock says, okay, what else do you see? He says, meteorologically I'm looking at the clouds in the sky and I'm seeing that this type of cumulonimbus is there and that tomorrow it will be a bit overcast and there will be some drizzle at some point. Watson looks at him and says, what else do you see? He says, I'm looking at the different constellations in the sky and I see that at the moment this type of astrological influence is there. And Sherlock Holmes, and then Watson looks at Sherlock and he says, what do you see? Sherlock said, I see that someone has stolen our tent. That's the world we're living in. Seemingly intelligent people, they analyze the world to the nth degree. And then they miss the most obvious point, that there must be a God. That's amazing. We think atheism is like, oh, it's actually the most ludicrous proposal, but Krishna gives forgetfulness. So if people want to forget it, they entirely rationalize it to make it sound like possible. That's amazing. So Krishna as the super soul is accompanying us through this journey. And as soon as we turn away from Krishna, then Krishna doesn't force himself into your life. So it said, Krishna bahir mukha hoya Bhagavan chakare nikata stamaya tare japati yadhare. Krishna bahir mukha. As soon as you turn away from Krishna, imagine you just turn away from Krishna. Krishna bahir mukha hoya bhoga, and you try to enjoy in this world, then Krishna doesn't say like, oh, turn around. No. Nikata sta. Isn't it in Gora Arti we sing Nikate Advaita Srini Vasashatra. Nikate means very close by. Srinivas is standing and he has an umbrella and he's holding it over Mahaprabhu. That's the meaning. So Nikata sta, standing nearby Maya. Maya is there. Japati Adhare, and then completely covers the living entity. So Krishna is as the super soul patiently waiting, and as soon as you turn your face back towards Krishna, then Krishna gives all the knowledge, all the remembrance, all the light. Deshamevanukampartham aham ajnana jamtamaha nashayamyatma bhavasto jnana deepena bhashvata. Hiding within your heart, I illuminate you with the shining lamp of knowledge by which darkness is dissipated. So the first thing that Krishna does is he brings what? Shastra, scriptures. But it's not enough. Therefore, what Krishna then does is he personally comes and takes residence in your own heart as the super soul. But it's still not enough. Because jitatmana prashantasya paramatma samahita. Yes, if I've conquered the mind, I can connect with the super soul, but I haven't conquered the mind. So how will I find Krishna? How will I conquer my mind? Therefore, Shiksha Guru ke tajani Krishna Swarup Antaryami Bhakta Shreshta E Dui Roop. Krishna expands from the super soul and he takes another form. E Dui Roop. He takes a second form. And what is that second form? Antaryami, Krishna within the heart, Bhakta Shreshta. The wonderful devotees. Aiduirup. The devotees who guide you back to Krishna are actually said to be representatives of the super soul within the heart. And therefore it's said that in our life we need gurus. We need shiksha gurus. We need people, diksha gurus. We need all kinds of gurus who are going to guide us back to understanding that first Krishna is within your heart, and then ultimately there's a relationship with Krishna waiting for you in the spiritual world. And so then the devotees come. And it's not easy. They say to follow the word of God is hard, but to follow the will of the devotee is even harder. Yes, I'm reading Shastra, I'm following. To follow the word of God is okay, because you can decide to interpret that word of God according to how it suits you. Yes. But to follow the will of a devotee who comes into your life and tells you, no, you should do this, when you're thinking, no, I want to do something else. The devotees challenge us. The devotees reveal to us. They bring us out of the comfort zone. They begin to stretch us. They begin to help us break our attachments. Just saying that sounds painful. Yes, the Vaishnavas come. Tatodu Sanghamit Srijya Sadhu Satset Buddhiman Shanta Evasya Chindanti Manovya Sangam Ukti Bhi. It said that the words of a saintly person are razor sharp. And what do they do with their razor sharp words? Mano vyasangam ukti bi. By their razor sharp words, they cut the attachments that are within the heart. So yes, the devotees also tell you what you don't want to hear. They deliver sometimes a bitter pill of medicine, and it's hard, it's challenging. One time I was in a class and the speaker was really challenging in a nice way. And at the end, I turned to the person next to me and I said, "Did you feel what I was feeling?" And we didn't even need to say anything. He was like, "Yeah." We said, that felt like he had a machine gun and he was like shooting us. So yeah, the saintly people are like that. But also very nice, also very kind. Vajradapi kathorani mriduni kusumadapi lokataranam chetam si gonu vigyatam ishvara. The great devotees can be harder than a thunderbolt and simultaneously mriduni kusumadapi, simultaneously softer than a rose. Ever met someone who's harder than a thunderbolt and softer than a rose? The great devotees play both. So sometimes they're strong, sometimes they're harsh, but they help us. The Mahabharata says, the words of a politician are like butter, but their heart is like a razor. And the words of a sadhu, a saintly person, are like a razor, but their heart is like. Sometimes they speak, they challenge, they tell us what we don't want to hear. They begin to reveal things that we knew were there, but we didn't want to face. Oh no, did you have to reveal what was there within me? Yes, we don't want to discourage you, but it's necessary to see that so that we can grow beyond that. So, sadhus, Krishna comes as the sadhus, the saintly people. And in this verse, this is what is basically being explained. Krishna wants us to go back to the spiritual world, so he arranges Shastra, knowledge. But then he comes as the super soul to guide us day to day. But then he also comes as the sadhus, the expansion of the super soul, to then challenge us out of the comfort zone and reveal to us the other world. And so this 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is very beautiful because Krishna is giving an analogy, and he's saying that this world is just a reflection. It's a reflection of the real world. And the goal of human life is to go from the shadow to the substance. And on that journey, Krishna says, I'm here to help. I'm here to guide. I'm here to assist. Just turn to me. And everything you need for that journey, I'm ready to provide. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So, any questions, if you have, or anything I said that you'd like to know more about? Did I address what you wanted to?
Yes,
Is there
Maharaj.
something more you would like me
Yes.
to?
I have one question about what you just explained. Thank you very much for the elaboration. Krishna manifests as the Chaitya Guru, as Paramatma within, and externally as the spiritual master, right? But when the spiritual master leaves his body, they say he's still with you, within your heart, he's guiding you. But how does it exactly work with Paramatma also being in your heart? Do they become one, or how does it work?
Yeah. The great devotees, of course, it's never that they become one. We're eternally individual, and therefore the great devotees, the gurus who come to guide us, when they leave this world, they continue to guide us. Guru Tattva is very, very mystical because it's said that Guru is one. So this is a common aphorism, that the Guru is one. That's not in a Mayavadi conception that they all merge into one. but they're one in the sense that they're all, as we would say in English, singing off the same song sheet. And so how does the Guru continue to guide you once the Guru has left this world? Because the Guru will make arrangements, just like the super soul is making arrangements of knowledge, remembrance and forgetfulness, so that the living entity can encounter what is necessary for their journey. The Guru is also making arrangements through representatives, through other devotees, through other great Vaishnavas to give instruction, to give assistance. And if one is very, very desirous to connect with the Guru and hear the Guru, then one will come face to face with the Guru in different forms. What to speak of personalities, even the Avaduta Brahmana in the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam said, I have 24 Gurus. And I see the knowledge of my Guru reflected in so many things around me. So the Kanistha only sees the Guru in a person. The Madhyam sees that there is the Guru and then there are different representatives. But when one becomes even more advanced, then one can actually see the instructions and the guidance of the Guru in so many ways all around him. Like that. So we have to understand that yes, the spiritual master, Guru is one. So even if they are not personally here, then they continue to guide through many other Vaishnavas or many other ways. But that requires one to be open-hearted, broad-minded. That one requires one to be very alert and open. And then definitely, why not? Is that okay? Yes.
In relation to that, Paramatma gives forgetfulness. Why do we forget our previous lives? Because I can imagine that, like going through misery, let's say, trying to enjoy, but failing our previous lives.
If you remember the misery of your previous life, it would be like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, indeed. Then we might be more motivated, I'm really curious.
Of course, there's enough misery in this life to also make us want to go back. We seem expert. It's like they say, everyone is a philosopher at the crematorium. But the moment you leave the crematorium, business as usual. Because Maya has this, like sometimes when you drive and it's raining, like the windscreen wipers go boom. But then eventually it just gets covered again, and therefore it needs to be. So the first thing to understand is that just because we would remember previous lives, that doesn't guarantee anything. Because it's not remembrance of pain alone that makes one spiritually realized. Otherwise, the people who go through the most pain in this world would be the most spiritual. So it doesn't work like that. The reason we forget our previous life is because Krishna, he has to help us fulfill our desires. And if Krishna doesn't allow us to forget our previous lives, at least the details of it, we wouldn't be able to functionally live in this identity. And therefore it's said that the trauma of birth is so great that at that moment when the child takes birth is so traumatic that passage of childbirth resets the memory. Of course, there are some children who can remember aspects of their previous life. In Sanskrit, this is known as jati smaran. Sometimes they can remember who they were in their previous life. So there's one scientist, Ian Stevenson, who has documented 5,000 cases of children remembering their previous lives, and he's verified that it's actually true. The interesting thing is someone wrote another book to see whether what happened to those who remembered their previous lives. And the interesting thing is they weren't that different to anyone else. You'd think, like, if I remembered my previous life, then I would definitely be serious. No. You would just go back into ignorance because it's not enough. So we need to forget, otherwise we can't live this identity. But at the same time, Krishna does help us remember certain things, because it's not that your previous lives are completely useless, because they still leave impressions within your subconscious, which means there's a development of consciousness, but you may not remember the exact. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is. I always wanted to remember my previous life. I don't recommend you do this, but I tried 10 times to do a past life regression. We had one person in London who could do past life regressions. So I watched on many occasions people going through a past life regression. I can tell you some stories about that. A lot. It's not a bit. But I tried it many times. Again, I don't recommend you try it. But somehow or other, I just couldn't remember my previous life. And then later on I realized even if I would, it wouldn't make much difference. We go back to the spiritual world not because we are frustrated by the material world and there's no other way, like, okay, it's never going to work out here. We go back to the spiritual world because we love Krishna. We go back to the spiritual world because it's just an amazing. Why would you not want to be with Krishna? And then everything else just becomes inconsequential. So yeah, it's.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Anyone else? Yes.
Now, I came here after watching your YouTube video talk in the Champati, where you mentioned the pain of regret. The pain of discipline is uncomfortable and pain of regret is unbearable.
Mm.
And I used to visit a lot in Bangalore ISKCON, but this is the first time that I'm coming here in the foreign
Thank you.
shores, and I pray to Krishna that if you ever come here, that would be the day I visit. And it happened in 3 months, Krishna's Leela. So thank you.
Thank you for coming. Yeah, this is your home. So
Yes.
this is Srila Prabhupada created a house in which the whole world can live. So anywhere you go in the world, you always have a home because there's an ISKCON temple. So yeah, please keep coming. Yeah, you came from India and you come here, and it's not by chance.
No,
You can speak to many of the devotees here from India, and it was like they weren't interested in India, and then they got interested in Amsterdam. Like, makes no sense.
No.
Amsterdam. Come to Amsterdam to find Krishna. Living in India. But it's this whole arrangement. Krishna is a trickster, as you said. It's all Krishna's Leela. And Krishna somehow makes his way into your life. But you're very fortunate because you grew up with Krishna. You grew up with that knowledge. And therefore, you have a head start. But, yeah, we have to now hear from Krishna. And that's why the temple is so beautiful, because you have an opportunity to hear about Krishna and make that relationship more substantial. I don't know how we're doing for time. Do I wrap up here or do I carry on? I don't know what to do. You just tell me when I eject.
Krishna Maharaj, how this mechanism works and how Krishna acts with respect to the devotee and a non-devotee. For example, I had something 10 years back, and now that comes out to me in a dream. What I had today might be I remember after 10 years. So everything is sitting on the subconscious mind. So everything comes out, or he plays in a way where once we are progressing in devotional service, he stops getting all the old ideas out and he only makes us remember the Krishna consciousness things, How does it work?
So what determines what thoughts Krishna triggers within your mind?
Yeah.
You mean that?
Yeah.
Like he's saying he's giving knowledge, remembrance, forgetfulness. So how does he decide what to give you remembrance of, what to make you forgetful of? How does he decide all of that? Yeah, good question. So two things are important here. One is your desire. That's the most important thing. Krishna is basically giving you knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness primarily based upon your desire. Right? So if you desire Krishna and you really in your heart want to be more Krishna conscious, then Krishna will give you the necessary knowledge, the necessary forgetfulness of Maya, the necessary remembrance of, what to do in what situations to help you to actually get closer to him. So the primary thing that Krishna looks at is your desire. But then Krishna also looks at your karma, your activities. Because it's not just desire, but what are you doing? How are you acting? And based on how you act, then Krishna will also respond within you to basically give you the knowledge to continue acting according to what you're doing. So Krishna is basically responding to us. And Krishna is supplying. It's almost like saying, say for example, when you go on a browser, what determines what adverts pop up? What determines it?
What I already browsed it.
Yeah, where you've been going, what kind of activity you've been doing. It's amazing what browsers can do nowadays, Like as soon as you turn up in Amsterdam and you go onto the internet, like all these adverts about Amsterdam are coming up. You're like, how does this thing know I'm in Amsterdam? Right? Because it's all tracked. That's how that's why cybersecurity is such a big thing now, because people track you and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, you get my point. All the things are coming up based on what your activity is and what your desires are. So in the same way, that's why it's so important to cultivate pure desires, to cultivate spiritual desires, spiritual activities, because then the Paramatma will begin to feed you with more and more spiritual remembrance, spiritual knowledge. Krishna wants to help you, right? Like he's with you, but he doesn't force himself in. Does that help?
That's what. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
And Krishna Maharaj, so my question is, those who are in the mode of ignorance, which means they are forgetful of Krishna, how does Krishna control those people? Because Krishna always guides everyone, right? He's the supreme controller, controlling everyone. So he must also control those who are in the mode of ignorance. So how does he control the actions of those people?
So how does Krishna control those in the mode of ignorance? The first thing to understand is that Krishna is not controlling anyone. Krishna leaves living entities to fulfill their desires. But when someone wants to be ignorant, when someone wants to be passionate, then what Krishna will allow them to do is put themselves under the modes of ignorance and passion. And so what is dictating the activities of someone in the mode of ignorance? Basically the modes of nature. So that's what's impelling them to act in that way. If someone looks at a cigarette packet and it says, smoking kills, and they pick up a cigarette and then go on and smoke it, are they acting out of free will? Do you think so? Yes, you're right. But it's free will which is severely covered by the mode of ignorance. So it's a type of free will in which you almost begin to question, is this person even making this decision? It makes no sense at all. How can you read a label which says smoking kills and then at the very next moment smoke it? It's free will, but heavily influenced by the mode of ignorance. And therefore, Krishna is not making them smoke the cigarette. They're smoking the cigarette, but they've decided through their free will to then be placed under the mode of ignorance. And by their free will, they can decide whether to break out of that mode of ignorance. And that's why Krishna says, Ebhir Tri Gunamai. The whole world is deluded by the three modes of nature. When Prabhupada arrived in America, he wrote a poem, and in the second line of the poem he wrote, Rajastama Guna Era Sabaya Chan Vasudeva Kata Ruchi Nahese Prashan. Prabhupada's looking at the world and he's saying most of the population here is absorbed in the material modes of passion and ignorance. They have no taste for Krishna's message. So that's basically what it is. Most of the world, that's why you see that picture in the Bhagavad Gita, right? Of everyone's thinking, they're acting freely, but they're completely like puppets in the modes.
The example that you gave, those who smoke, in the past, when I've spoken with such people, they say, well, I have no attachment to the body, that's why I'm smoking. Who cares if the body dies? So I just died a little bit earlier. That's a type of detachment.
Well, they're saying they have no attachment to the body, but then so many of their other activities clearly show that,
Including smoking.
So there you go.
Maharaj, how do we understand whether we are making progress day-to-day basis in our devotional service or not?
How do we know whether we're making progress in our day-to-day devotional service? So in the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam, there's a beautiful analogy. Bhakti pareshan ubhavo viraktir anyatra chesha trika eka kalaha prapadyamanasya yathashnata shushtusti pustikshut apayo anughasham. It's very, very beautiful. It comes in the Uddhava. No. I think it's Nava Yogendras. Anyway, it's in the 11th canto. The analogy is given of eating. When you eat, three things happen. Number one, Kshud Apayo, which means you get freedom from hunger. Number two, Tusti, you feel some pleasure. And number three, Pushti, which means you feel nourished, you feel energized. So how do you know that you've eaten a good meal? Number one, freedom from hunger. Number two, there's some immediate pleasure. And number three, there's an energizing of the body. So the analogy is given to explain that if you're actually practicing Krishna consciousness properly, then the same three things should happen. Number one, just like you get freedom from hunger when you eat, when you practice Krishna consciousness, you should get freedom from material desires. Number two, just like when you eat, there's some pleasure to the tongue. When you practice Krishna consciousness, just from doing simple activities like singing, dancing, seeing the deities, these activities give a joyfulness that is beyond anything you experience. And number three, just like when you eat, you get energized, you get direct experience of how that food is energizing your senses. The third thing that should happen if you're actually practicing Krishna consciousness is you should experience Krishna. You should actually experience Krishna. Not as a concept, but as a living reality. That's really important. Like one devotee once, he said, Prabhupada was asking the devotees, he said, how do you know, I'm trying to think what was the question. He asked them, how do you know Krishna exists? So all the devotees were giving different answers. Oh, Prabhupada, you told us, it says in the Shastra, da 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 da. And then one devotee, so Prabhupada didn't accept any of those. And then one devotee said, because Srila Prabhupada, when I chant Hare Krishna, I feel the presence of Krishna. And Prabhupada said, yes. So do we feel the presence of Krishna in our lives? Sometimes it feels very far. But more and more, what does it mean to be Krishna conscious? It means to feel the presence of Krishna. Yes, Krishna is there. Krishna is guiding. Krishna is active in my life. More and more, if we're actually practicing, then we should feel that, the presence of Krishna. That's how you know. Look at your life and just ask yourself, are my material desires decreasing? Am I becoming happier? And do I feel that Krishna, do I feel more of a presence of Krishna in my life? These are broadly the 3 ways that one can understand.
Maharaj, can I ask a question? Sorry.
Yeah, I'll just continue until someone tells me to stop.
Maharaj, we can go on till 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
In 5:7, Krishna says like a devotee is what you call closer to everyone. Everyone likes a devotee, and devotee likes everyone. Might be I'm telling in improper English, but that's what.
He's dear to everyone.
Dear to everyone, and everyone are dear to a devotee. It's okay, everyone are dear to a devotee, but why is it like the other organizations or the other religions are so cruel about the devotees? Like, these people are propagating some other culture which is not actually true as per them, and they are creating an enmity when the devotee is progressing or they are performing a devotional service. They are treating the devotees as enemies. If they are a pure devotee, they should be dear. Those devotees should be dear to even those people.
Okay, all right, I understand your question. So he's saying that, Prabhu's saying that Krishna says that when one becomes a pure devotee, then everyone is naturally attracted. They become dear. The pure devotee becomes dear to everyone. So then why do we find in the world that people become aggressive towards the devotees? They show some animosity towards the devotees. Why does that happen? Everyone should love them. Everyone should bow down to them. Everyone should seek their association. Why is it that... So, you see, there is a superficial type of hating, and there is a deeper type of hating. So when people show aggressiveness or animosity towards a devotee, it's actually just on the superficial level. They can't actually be aggressive or inimical towards a pure soul. It's not possible. Like, have you ever tried to be like angry with a humble person? It's like after some time it just gets boring. Like they just don't react. Yes. React to me. And then after some time you just can't continue being inimical towards someone who's pure. So when there's this animosity towards pure devotees, it's not any deep, lasting type of. It's just some immediate illusion that has overcome that person that causes them by impulse to act like that. But they can never really have any deep enmity towards someone who has no bad qualities. It just can't sustain. And therefore, Abraham Lincoln said something nice. He said, I kill all of my enemies by making them my friends. So eventually a devotee even makes the inimical people his friends. That's what Nityananda did with Jagai and Madai. Because they couldn't sustain their anger towards a pure soul. That's why you find all of these individuals, like say for example, the person who put all of those items in front of the house of Srivas Thakur to discredit him, and Srivas Thakur didn't defend himself. Eventually that person, he became a pure devotee. His name is Devakinandan, and he wrote this beautiful song about the Vaishnava. So all of these people change. So yes, someone may superficially show some anger or enmity towards a pure devotee, but it's nothing deep, because you can't actually be angry. Therefore it said, Didikshava karunika surida sarvadehinam ajata shatrava shanta sadhava sadhu bhushana. How do you know someone's a sadhu? He has no enemies. But there's plenty of enemies. Prabhupada had enemies, but they could not even they could not sustain their enmity towards Prabhupada. Prabhupada was being attacked everywhere. But that's just superficial. No one can actually hate a pure devotee because there's nothing to hate. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
It's, thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much. It's not a question. It's your last words about even Prabhupada didn't make enemies. I remember how His Holiness Kadamba Swami, my Gurudev, told that story about the Mayavadis who brought some boxes with Mayavadi leaflets to Prabhupada. And his disciples said, oh, please don't take it. Oh. He said, no, take it. And then the next time something finished, he just used all the leaflets as, placements? As placements?
Plates.
Yes, as plates. And they were used, and then he said, so now they got purified. All these Mayavadis got purified, and the makers of the leaflets as well. So
Looking how to give them benefit.
exactly,
Also.
exactly, purifying them. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Haribo.
Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Gita ki
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Please forgive for a bit of slow organization in the beginning. Okay, apologies for that. Are we all happy?
Yes.
Do we all Maharaj to come back?
Yes.
It's really not not enthusiastic enough. Still not enthusiastic enough. One more time. Thank you so much. Today's wonderful Wednesday feast. Sort of organized. Usually we have Sunday feast. Because of Maharaj's schedule, we plan to have it on a Wednesday evening. Our pujari for the day was Ashwataki Mataji, and the decoration team, I'm not sure who did the decoration today. Sophia does usually. Jayesh did today. Amazing. Our deities, Maharaj, if you observe, every time when you come, they're more and more blissful and more well taken care of. Which we really think is one of the reasons why our community is flourishing, and many devotees are coming, new people are coming and joining. So let's thank our deity team, decoration team by Lord chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's a wonderful feast for you all. It's a Tugo Prasadam. The program is not over though. So if you are thinking program is over, you have to leave. If you want to leave, you can leave. I want to at least go till 8:30 so that everybody get one good association with Maharaj. You can have final. Yesterday Maharaj gave a beautiful session on dancing and kirtan. So we want to put it into practice one more time before the things end. So it's not over. So please be here. We'll get one solid association with Maharaj again. If it's okay with you, Maharaj. I know you have been out since the morning. We have a few devotees who have come here, not so occasionally, but I mean not so regularly, but very occasionally. We have Sri Sangan Prabhu, who is visiting us from India. He was part of our community for a long time. He's been living in Mumbai now, right? Mumbai since last 3-4 years, but he's visiting for 2 months now. Yeah. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. We have Nayana Garam Prabhu and Rasa Vilasini Mataji who are also visiting. I don't know where is Mataji. There, along with the kids. Thank you, Prabhu, for coming to our temple. Thank you so much. Are there any new people who have come for the first time? Please come Amsterdam. First time ever? Okay. First time. Would you like a Dutch gift or an English gift, Prabhu?
English gift, please.
English. So Maharaj can give you a small gift. Please come ahead. Anyone else for the first time? Please come Amsterdam. Okay, Maharaj, there is one more here. Arrivo. Yeah. Anyone else? That's it? Okay. Oh, there is one. Mataji there, Maharaj. Thank you for coming. Hare Krishna. Today's feast is cooked by Namita Mataji, Rinpu Prabhu, Preeti Mataji, Lakshmi Mataji, and Bhavya Mataji. All the facilities arrangements done by Jayashri and Amrita, and I don't know if someone else helped you in bringing stuff now. Is it?
Sorry?
You brought stuff now, right, from market? Yeah. Anyone else helped you other than you and Jayashri?
No, Jayashri and me.
Okay. So let's thank these devotees for arranging nice prasadam. There is a very good prasadam. Traditional, North Indian, very good. Actually, not just North Indian, Braj style. So let's thank these devotees by Lord Joining Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. A few very important things which are coming up. Friday, tomorrow of course Maharaj is going to Eindhoven. So there's a program in So there is a university program in Eindhoven, but that's only for the university students at TU Eindhoven. And then in the evening, Maharaj will be with Chitralekha Mataji with her yoga group near Maastricht. So if someone wants to attend this evening program, is it open for public? Yeah, so please contact Chitralekha Mataji so that she can take you all to her place in Maastricht. Very far away, but yes. By the way, Chitralekha is also back to Amsterdam after a long time. She was in India. Thank you so much for coming back. So that's it for the normal announcements. We have King's Day coming up on Saturday. All of you are more than welcome. Quick information is that the expense for King's Day is around 4,000 to 5,000 euros. We have not done any fundraisers like how we did last year's, because I was thinking that maybe devotees can just generously come and give, because we have been doing so much. I'm sure you all have liked our what we are doing in the community, right? Have you all liked it?
Yes.
I don't hear it. Yes. So I really hope that you all just come by yourselves and give us and help us. We raised around 800 euros from Naomi. So that puts us negative around 500, something like that. So if you are inspired, if you want to contribute to make this King's Day a great success, please come and
Is there also need for volunteers the day before?
Yes, yeah. So on Friday evening we'll be doing vegetables cutting for cooking for around 500 devotees who are coming all over Europe. So if you are inspired to come and serve Friday evening, please just show up here around 6 o'clock. Help you with other things. Saturday is King's Day, 11 o'clock. We'll start with the bit of cultural program outside. We started this as a new format last year. Sita was there last year, did a classical performance. She's not here this year. I hope she comes back soon. But we have other devotees who will be coming and performing cultural performances before the parade starts. Parade starts 11:30 outside the temple. If you are wanting to take breakfast, you need to please let Ashtasaki Mataji know, because she is cooking breakfast that morning. If you are coming very early that morning, please keep her informed. And then lunch will be near Rijksmuseum. You can go with the parade and come there at the Rijksmuseum for lunch and then continue with the program. Or you can, if you want to just show up in the afternoon event, just show up at Rijksmuseum around 3 o'clock. And then you can join the later half of the program.
Program is Harina.
Program is Hari, of course. Yes, that's our program. Yes, in Amsterdam. We do this as our dham. This is our dham, our dham, Amsterdam. So please come and join us in spreading this amazing sound vibrations of Hare Krishna mantra. You see in all the Shastras, in all scriptures, there are so many mantras. Maharaj was speaking about it today. And there is one mantra which is just free. It's Hare Krishna mantra. Every other mantra you need to get in your ears, instructed by your guru. Right? That's how Vedic mantras are given, not for open public. But there is one mantra which is for everyone, even for the birds and beasts outside, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has shown. Let's take good advantage of this. Please come and sing and dance in the states of Amsterdam. And then a week after that, we have much more bliss coming up. His Holiness Sachidananda Swami Maharaj is coming to Amsterdam. He came last year. And many devotees were a bit suspicious whether Maharaj will show up again in the Netherlands. While leaving the airport, Sachidananda Maharaj held my hand and told me, I'll come back, don't worry. But I told him that Maharaj, we are a bit upset, we don't know if you'll come back again. So he held my hand and told he'll come back, and he's keeping his promise. He's coming on Friday. We're trying to see if there can be an Adivas ceremony for the Kirtan Mela, so hopefully in the temple or in another devotee's place. So Saturday is Kirtan Mela. I also want to make this quick announcement about Kirtan Mela. Many devotees think that we are charging for kirtans and it's not the right way and this and that. The fact of the matter is that the expense for Kirtan Mela is 10,000 euros. So we're actually in losses. We charge bare minimum, and we are caught in a I don't know how to say situation wherein outside people, Hare Krishna, the outside yoga people, they think this must not be a great event because we are charging so less. They are used to giving 60, 70, 80 euros for 1 hour, 2 hours program. We are having whole day event with 2 feasts. So when they see it's just 25 euros, they think should not be a great event, right? Because it's so cheap. And our devotees are thinking, this is like so high. Why are they charging for kirtan, right? So as such, we are not gaining in either sides. So there are already talks for next year. Maybe we'll make it as a free event so everybody can just come and participate. I really just depend on Krishna's mercy that Krishna somehow provides. I'm also thinking about it. But for this year, it is a charged event, very nominal. If you go out, have one meal which we are going to provide on that day, it is going to cost 25 easily. But we'll be having whole day kirtan along with that. Right? So please register, please come and participate. It's for us all. Right? Not just for me and Pradapudra and Shiva Sangha. This event is not just for few people. It's for everyone. Please register, please come. The day after that is Holy Name Retreat with Sachidananda Swami in a yoga school nearby. If you are interested in holy names, getting to know more about holy names and want to become more interested in spirituality and your own daily sadhana, please come and join us. It's going to be a retreat, whole day retreat again. That evening, Maharaj will be coming here for Sunday feast. Last year, that was another biggest accusation on us that, if you want to meet a sadhu in Netherlands, you have to pay. So we are here, we want to improve. So this year, you don't need to pay as such. If you are not aligned with us on this Kirtan Mela charges, okay, fine, no problem. Next year we'll resolve it. Please come and take association of Maharaj. Maybe in Kirtan Mela, maybe in Holy Name Retreat. If not, at least in temple on Sunday evening. Sunday feast with Sachidananda Maharaj then, 5th of May. So that's it, I guess, for now. His Grace Vraj Sundar Prabhu's that's called Bhagavat Mahavidyalayam founder. He's coming to Amsterdam first week of June. It's 5 days now. We'll have a Bhagavatam retreat with him. And then Mahatma Prabhu is hopefully scheduled for end of June. Yet to book his tickets, but more or less 28th June or so, we'll be having Mahatma Prabhu here. And then July 13th is our Rath Yatra. That's in a nutshell. So again, coming back to what I started with, if you're inspired with any of this, please see me outside. You can give €1, €10, 100,000, whatever you like. 10,000, million, you get a temple. So, but yeah, your hard-earned Lakshmi will be well spent for in Krishna's service. You can rest be assured of that fact. So with that, I conclude. Usually we end with quick Vrindavan meditation. Of course, I'll make it very short today. Maybe Maharaj, would you like to lead a kirtan afterwards? Okay, so maybe Rati Manjari or Pariveda Prabhu can. Is Pariveda Prabhu still here?
Sure. Is he here?
Is Pariveda Prabhu here, bro? Can you check if Pariveda Prabhu is here? So maybe one of you can sing. We'll sing about 20 minutes maybe. Roaring kirtan. Everybody can dance. Put yesterday's Maharaj session into practice.
He's there.
Is there? Can you please request him to come inside? So let's thank Swami Bhagavan Keshava Maharaj. Prabhu, would you like to lead a kirtan now? No. No? Sure. So let's thank Swami Bhagavan Keshava Maharaj for coming and nourishing our hearts, our brains, our existence, everything with his wonderful, sweet, loving and wisdom-filled presentations since last few days. He'll be here for King's Day, but we don't have any sessions scheduled. And he'll go to Brussels, I believe. So if you want to follow, you can go to Brussels after King's Day. Yeah, so let's thank Maharaj. Very lovely chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Forgot. We have this Gita 3 books still remaining. If you want to get Maharaj's signature on this, Maharaj will be kind enough to sign on this. Small message for you. Only some last few copies are remaining. Everything else is sold out. So if you interested, please take them. But the Hare Krishna mantra which we chanted for Maharaj was really not loud enough. It's really inspiring. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Let's set our mood while the Kanjal Mataji is preparing herself. Let's quickly do a Vrindavan meditation. Let's close our eyes. For us, Vrindavan is not different from Hare Krishna mantra. Let's close our eyes. Thanks Srila Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for giving us this beautiful, beautiful mantra, beautiful mission, beautiful temple, beautiful devotees. This is Vrindavan life. Just cooperation with devotees is what is Vrindavan. Thanking them all with all grateful heart. Let's chant. Jaya Jaya Radhe, Jaya Jaya Shyam, Jaya Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham, Jaya Jaya Radhe, Jaya Jaya Shyam, Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham, Jaya Jaya Radhe, Jaya Jaya Shyam, Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham, Jaya Jaya Radhe, Jaya Jaya Shyam, Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Keshava Maharaj ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So we'll have a final kirtan with Jiman. You got something?
I just wanted to mention today's feast was sponsored by Rinpo and family.
Oh, thank you so much. Haribo!
For Satakshi's birthday. Is there anywhere we can give her blessings and sing for her?
Sure. Yes. Where is Satakshi?
Satakshi? Oh, right here.
Let's sing. Hare Krishna to you. Hare Krishna to you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna to you. May Radharani bless you. May Radharani bless you. May Radharani bless you. Hare Krishna to you.
So it's a little later, right? Maybe we can change the light or not?
When the date is open?
They're going to open?
Yes, they'll be coming in 9 minutes.
You can hide it. You can make it just one break.
Hare
Assadars of the Sri Srimad, His Divine Grace, is Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, the Prabhupada Ki. ISKCON Liviti Founder Charya Srila Prabhupada Ki. Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Nam Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Sri Rup Sri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Sri Jiv Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath Sat Goswamis Prabhu Ki. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki. Shri Panchatattva Ki. Harinam Sankirtan Ki. Shri 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 Jagannath Subhadra Balaram Ki. Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Lalita Vishakha Devi Ki. Shri Shri Radha Sham Sundar Lalita Vishakha Devi Ki. Shri Krishna Balaram Ki. Shri Prahlad Nrsimha Devi Ki. Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Haribo. नृसिंहदेव की, प्रहलाद महाराज की, बोलो निताय गौर